stopping by. Pete Mesling here with my latest publishing news. I'm happy to report that the 6th volume of the Poetry Showcase from the Horror Writers Association is out now, Volume 6, edited by Stephanie Wojtowicz. I have a poem in it called A Return to Chaos. Very pleased to be associated with these poets in this volume. I hope you pick up a copy, of course. This is my second volume that I've had a poem in. I was also in Volume 3, which was edited by David Cohen. That poem was called Gratitude. And I'm going to do a couple of readings for you today, but a little bit more on that in just a moment. Again, thanks for stopping by. Now about that table of contents, it really is impressive. I think it's worth a quick rundown of some of the highlights. I've got it in front of me. I thought it might be fun to just run some of the names by you, the ones that jump out at me as people you're likely to be familiar with, for one thing. Sorry if I leave anyone obvious out or anyone out. I could just read the whole thing, but it's fairly extensive. You're going to get a good selection of poetry in this. And we'll start with John Claude Smith. We have Sarah Tantlinger. We have Peter Adam Solomon, Owl Going Back, Nicole Cushing, Nachin Casa, Michael Hansen, Michael Bailey, Michael Arnzen, the three Michaels in a row, Marge Simon, artist and poet, and Lisa Morton, former Horror Writers Association president, of course, Lee Murray, editor and writer extraordinaire, Anne K. Schwader, and who else do we have? Christina Singh, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's an extensive list. We've got about 50 poems here, so there's a lot to enjoy, a lot of different styles, a lot of variety, but all in the horror vein, of course. So I hope that further whetted your appetite. Those readings I promised are coming up next, so stay tuned. So we'll start off with my poem from this collection, Volume 6. Fittingly enough. Then I do want to read the poem that I had in Volume 3 as well. They're both very short. There's a fun little story that goes along with that one from Volume 3, so we'll get there. But first things first, A Return to Chaos from Volume 6 of the Poetry Showcase series from the Horror Writers Association. Acres of sludge gurgle up out of the sea, boiling hot and viscous. Mountains topple and shift, their broken summits stabbing at swirling clouds of indigo, like giant, ineffectual spearheads. Oceans churn in all directions, already having claimed the cities. Now there is no end result to predict, or hope for, or avoid. No one left to do the predicting, hoping, or avoiding. There is only the idiot grin of myriad stillborn futures, and the present, with its trapped histories breaking free like poison spores. The poem I had in Volume 3 is called Gratitude, and in that publication it appears as a 4-line poem, which is how it was until recently when I sent a copy to a friend of mine and inscribed it, and suddenly realized that there was another stanza that wanted to be there, so I wrote it in by hand into his copy, and now that's my preferred version of the poem. I don't do that sort of editing with poetry usually. It seems after I'm done with a poem, it's pretty much done. But this one, I think it's better. It's better for the change. So hopefully you agree. I give you gratitude. Thanks for the flower that pleases my eye. Thanks for the thorn that pricks my skin. Thanks for the rope to hang me by. Thanks for the fire to burn it in. Thanks for the friend who wishes me well. Thanks for the foe who wishes me dead. Thanks for the possibility of hell. Thanks for the heaven inside my head. One last tidbit before I let you go. Along with other contributors to Volume 6, I was recently involved in a roundtable, an email roundtable hosted by the Bram Stoker award-winning author Gwendolyn Kiste. There's a link to that in the description for this video. So check that out if you'd like to read a few of my thoughts on the horror genre in general and my work in particular. And that's about it. Thanks again for stopping by, taking an interest in my work. I appreciate it. I'll be back again as soon as I have something that I feel might be worth a few more minutes of your time. Until then, this is Pete Mesling, signing off.